Bob, let's go. Thanks for joining. I appreciate it. You found your way over to the Modest Audiophile channel. My name is Mark, and yes, today we're going to talk about Bob Dylan's Blood on the Tracks, the Mobile Fidelity 2025, January 2025 release to be exact. More on this in a second. Okay, what we're going to talk about real quick today is really why I got this thing, the cost, is it worth it? A little bit of background, not much. I mean, heck, if you clicked on this, you already know about Bob. If you haven't, go check him out. And then we're going to talk about presentation, condition, get on with the soundstage and imaging, couple decibel level checks, and a couple things I wanted to pull out of the songs individually, which I thought either I heard for the first time or something that I really wanted to share with you folks. And that's it, okay? And get you out of here as quickly as I can. Well, let's get into why I got it. So I, like a lot of folks, I'm sure, had recently seen the Bob Dylan movie. Although it doesn't share the same time period as this, it just got those juices flowing again. And I've never owned this album before. I've heard every song on, I've owned a lot of CDs of bootlegs, and back in the day a lot of cassette tapes, and all those compilation albums, we'll say. But I've never owned Blood on the Tracks in a vinyl format before. So I saw that this thing was running for $39.95 or $39.99. I went, hey, I'll go get that for Mobile Fidelity, a Audiophile label, for less than $40 in 2025 money. I jumped on it. So, and I'm very, very happy I did. More on the presentation here in a second. So that's why I got it. A little bit of background, not much, because if you clicked on this, you already know Bob. Glad you clicked on it anyway, but go check him out. All right, so real quick, Blood on the Tracks is the 15th studio album released on January 20th, 1975 by Columbia Records. This actually was the first time he got back to Columbia after being with Asylum Records for 2 previous albums. Dylan began recording the album at A&R Studio in New York City in September of 1974. In December, shortly before Columbia was due to release the album, Dylan abruptly re-recorded much of the material in Sound 80 studio in Minneapolis. The final album contains 5 tracks recorded in New York and 5 from Minneapolis. The songs have been linked to tensions in Dylan's personal life, including his estrangement from his then-wife, Sarah. One of their children, Jacob Dylan, described the songs as, quote, "my parents talking." Dylan, of course, denied that the songs were autobiographical. But I just thought that was pretty interesting. Everything that I've read about Bob in the past, yeah, had this thing in the can, ready to go, and then at the last minute said, nope, we're not going to release this. I got to go record it again. And that's why you get 5 songs from New York and 5 songs from Minneapolis. The runtime on this thing is 51 minutes and 46 seconds. It sounds long, but I'll tell you, I've listened to this thing a good 12 times or so in the last 2 weeks. I can't get enough of this. And no one was more surprised than me. I thought I would do the typical, oh, let's listen to it 5 or 6 times, make my notes, and be done with it. I just kept gravitating back to this record. I thoroughly enjoyed it. A friend of mine asked, so what do you think? And I went, to quote, I went sonically, lyrically, and musically exquisite. Sonically, this thing sounds amazing. Amazing. Lyrically, every song is a story, and there's some really good stories on this album. Great poetry to music. And musically, awesome. This is awesome. I mean, you've got, this really, really sounds great. So all 3 are covered very well here. Enough of that. Let's get on to presentation and condition, okay? First off, I'll say that the record, just like everything else that I've gotten, luckily that I've gotten from Mobile Fidelity, it's flat, it's nice, it's 180 gram, I believe, so it's nice and thick and heavy, and no pops, no clicks, no surface noise. Again, maybe I'm being lucky, I'm not sure, but it sounds wonderful. And what we're not going to discuss here, because I don't have a previous original copy from this pressing plant or that pressing plant. We're just going to talk about this particular one right here, right? Which is a repress, I believe, of a 2013 Mobile Fidelity version of this record as well. So they just reissued it. In fact, the laugh is limited quantities are numbered, right? Well, what are they going to go up to? It doesn't really matter to me, to be honest with you, because if it sounds this good, I'm happy. But my copy is number 23,005. So, limited. Take that with a grain of salt. The most important thing is this thing sounds wonderful. All right. So again, back to the overall presentation. You always get a good one with Mobile Fidelity. Nice, heavy stock cardboard. There's the front. There's the back. I'm going to talk about this in a second. Open it up. Look at those pictures. Really good stuff. What I will say is I read this essay on the back. The essay was written by Pete Hamill, New York, 1974. So while this thing was being recorded, maybe he got an early copy of it, I'm not sure. But the essay, I think, is as poignant today as it was back in 1974. If you have this on the back of your album, if you got this, go read it or go look it up online. I thought, I'm not one for these essays, to be honest with you, but this one kind of resonated with me. Really, really good essay. All right, enough of that. As far as the analog or recording chain, this particular one, 1/4 inch IPS Dolby A analog master tape to DSD64 to analog console to lathe. And again, for me, I'm not necessarily a purist. I just want my records to sound as good as they possibly can. And this one does. This one really surprised me. So we talked about why I got it. Cost, is it worth it? Less than $40. Presentation condition. Let's talk about soundstage and image and the tone stack. So let's talk about tone stack first. As far as the bass, mids, and treble go, I thought it was a very well-balanced record. The bass, I was not left wanting for anything, that's for sure. These Super Lintons really pushed the bass well on this. I thought it was full and round and really supported the rest of the music that you were hearing. The mids shined, vocally outstanding. The instruments, very realistic. Just the mids were sweet as honey. They were delicious mids. Really, really enjoyed it. And the overall treble, you were hearing a lot of air and space on this album, more than I thought you would, meaning you were hearing the space within the room. You were hearing very delicate touches on the cymbals. This thing had a lot of detail, more detail than I thought it would. So from a treble perspective, it was really well done as well. Just some of the thoughts that I wrote down while I was listening to this were, great drums within the soundstage, meaning it really came across the entire soundstage, which was nice and wide. My speakers are about 8 feet apart. The soundstage in this particular album was reaching 4 to 5 feet left or right of the speakers, so you're getting a decent wall of sound. And the overall height was about reaching my ceiling, coming down to the floor. What I really enjoyed out of this was the overall depth within the soundstage. Some instruments were presenting themselves in your mind's eye about a foot into the room, and they were going as far back as back wall. In my case, that's about 3 feet. So I'm getting about 4.5 feet of overall depth within the soundstage. Really nice. Precision, depth, very realistic. Again, this one, I've said before, it's easy. Well, it's too easy to say. You could say you're in the room with the singer or they're in the room with you. I'll just say you are sharing the same space as Bob and the musicians, sharing the same space. And that was the feeling that I got. It was really nice. Crisp, well-defined. You feel as much as you hear this album. You feel it. And again, that goes to the overall 3D nature in your mind's eye while you are listening to this. Again, a lot of airiness in here. Really nice, really nice. So a couple decibel level checks will do. I'm listening to this through a Rotel A11 Tribute integrated amp, and I've got the volume set at 69 for this one. So the first song I did out of 3, the first one I did was Tangled Up in Blue, first song on the album, probably the most famous song on the album. And that came in with a low end of 72 decibels, a high end of 95 decibels for an average of 83 decibels. Flipped it over and I did the last 2 songs as well. Shelter from the Storm, low end of 67 decibels, high end of 89 for an average of 80 decibels. And last but not least, the last song on the album, Buckets of Rain, low end of 66 decibels, high end of 87 decibels for an average listening of 78 decibels. Let's get on to side 1. All right, side 1 starts with Tangled Up in Blue, probably the most popular song on the album, certainly one of the hits on the album. I've heard it so many times, either through the TV or a boombox or the car radio. Doesn't matter. This is the best version I've ever heard this song. So much more complex, so much more layered than I'd ever heard it before. A couple of the standouts were full, nice drums I put here, sharp and crisp. Bob is right in the center with his vocals, and the music surrounds him. Really presented well in the soundstage on this song. I put a nice harp solo at the end too, just the harmonica jumps out at you. Really, really well done. Best, like I said, best I've ever heard. All right, second song, Simple Twist of Fate. Love Bob's vocals on this one. In fact, one of the things I wrote down here is, and this happens a couple times throughout the record, but I certainly noticed it right off the bat on the second song, was there's so much air, and it's so delicate, no, that's not the word, it's so vivid, I guess, that you can hear the difference in Bob's volume, and I think it's by how close or far away he is singing into that mic. So if he's right on, you're hearing it one way. If he turns his head, you're hearing it a different way. I really picked up on that a lot in this album, and this was the first song that I did. You definitely get that, quote, in the same room feeling. Great acoustics in this song. Yeah, you're sharing the same place with Bob and the band on this one. Really good. Simple Twist of Fate. You're a Big Girl Now. Very sharp image I put here to start. It's kind of got that Spanish guitar type of sound. It's coming, I think it's coming on the left. You got percussion coming in and amongst the drum. Very vivid sounding. I put excellent image, delicate drumming, pristine presentation of this song. Really nice. Not a song that I've heard terribly much. Really enjoyed that. And I guess that's one of the things, right? We've all heard the hits on this album. I'll go back to it. I played this album probably about 12 times in the last week and a half, 2 weeks. I can't get enough of it. Really can't. Love this presentation. All right, song number 4, Idiot Wind. I put a star next to this one because I just love this flipping song. Great image. It's got a really nice warm organ that's coming through. This song sucks you in, and it's one of the ones that you really follow the lyrics on this. It's a great story. Put nice drum spacing across the soundstage as well. Idiot Wind. Awesome song. Last song on side 1, You're Gonna Make Me Lonesome When You Go. And that had that same feeling of him grabbing the mic or standing in front of the mic, and Mike is stationary, but Bob's not. He's moving around, and you hear the difference in the volume, I guess, to the microphone. Very nice. You're sharing the same space. Very cool. Nice bass center and behind the vocals, as well as the harmonica on this one. Really nice. Great way to end side 1. You're Gonna Make Me Lonesome When You Go. On to side 2. Hey everybody, I just want to say thank you so much for coming. I appreciate it. If this is your first time here, thank you. Take a look around. You may find something else that interests you. If you've been here before and you've come back for another visit, hey, pat yourselves on the back. Thank you so much. If you want to help support the channel and you like this content, yeah, go down there and hit like. If you want to further support it and reach into your pocket for that fake Monopoly money, go hit the subscribe button. You can always take it away later, okay? So now back to Blood on the Tracks. This thing is so freaking good. Let's go. Side 2 starts with, I put a star next to this one too. Side 2 starts with Meet Me in the Morning. It's like a country blues tune, and the thing that really shined for me is on the right-hand side of the soundstage, in the upper portion of that, height-wise, you get a killer acoustic blues guitar. Just vivid. It stabs at you. It's in the space with you. It's not coming out of a speaker. It's in front of the speaker. It's sharing the same space. Really, really cool. This might be my favorite song on the album. At least right now it is. Vocals are center. Drums are kind of center to the right. Bass is in the center, and it's got some great electric guitar that comes in. This song was a jungle gym for the soundstage and image senses. And it's so simple, meaning there isn't a lot going on, which really lends itself to the overall space and airiness in that sense of sharing the same place as them. I was kind of shocked. This song sounded so good. Yeah, the only thing I'll say is it's got a slow build, meaning it's a couple sparse instruments up front, and then it continuously adds more instruments and a little bit more volume as the song goes. Yeah, simple to complex, I put. Meet Me in the Morning, great way to start side 2. Yeah, I think right now side 2 is my favorite side at the moment. Really nice. All right, goes into song number 2 called Lily, Rosemary, and the Jack of Hearts. And it's story time, it's upbeat, it's typical Dylan, just really good. Close your eyes, kick back, and enjoy the ride. Really nice. Toe tapper. All right, song number 3, If You See Her, Say Hello. Great, sharp image I put. You hear everything because you're there, sharing the same space as them. You hear everything. Acoustic is so pure sounding, I said. It's got, one of the acoustic is playing single notes or single note runs, and it's got that woodiness, that, again, if you play acoustic guitar, you know what it sounds like when, or if you know somebody that plays it and they're sitting right in front of you and they play that, that's what it felt like. So realistic, the acoustic guitar on this song. After the last verse is over, you get a sensation of just the rest of the soundstage is kind of coming out and encircling you. Yeah, just really, really cool. I had never experienced this song that way before. Thoroughly enjoyed it. All right, coming into the 4th song on side 2, Shelter from the Storm. I put Pure. Again, that mic distance thing again, where Bob's moving around, and you know he's moving around. He's not stationary in front of that mic. This song breathes. Really enjoyed this song. Yeah, you know the song, so I'm not going to say any more about it. The last song on the album, Buckets of Rain. You are in that same space with them. How I set this thing up is you've got center is bass. In front of that's the vocals. Crystal clear. You have a phenomenal acoustic guitar in space, and it's playing with the depth. Okay, it's going as far back and as far in front of the speakers. Again, I said earlier, about a foot in front of the speakers. A very sparse song as far as instrumentation and things going on, but one of the most articulate songs, if that makes sense. One of the most sharing the same space. That's probably the simplest way I can put it. Fantastic. Great way to end the song, great way to end the album. I thoroughly enjoyed this thing. I am really surprised at how much I enjoyed this album. If every Bob Dylan record from Mobile Fidelity sounds this good, I'm going to have to get 1 or 2 more. I'm going to have to get Blonde on Blonde. Although that's a 45 RPM. And I mentioned, this is a 33 RPM. Probably why it's less than $40. They made this thing sound wonderful. I'm so happy I got it. All right, everybody, that's it. That's really what I want to get through to you folks today is Bob Dylan's 1975 release of Blood on the Tracks. This one in particular, a January 2025 Mobile Fidelity repress. I believe this is the same thing as they did in 2013. I don't care how many they pump out. If it sounds this good, I'll get it every day and twice on Sunday. So do yourself a favor. If you're a Gen Xer that's had Bob kind of circling around the ether of your life, and maybe you're a little bit more interested now because of the movie or for whatever reason, this is a great place to start. Go out there, spend your $39.95 or $39.99, whatever it is. Set some time aside for yourself at the end of the week, at the end of the day, whenever it's most convenient for you, because you deserve it. You need to relax a little bit. Great place to start here. Put this on, turn the lights down, grab your favorite beverage, sit back, because sonically, lyrically, musically, this thing is exquisite. And you will have a wonderful 55 minutes. And you'll think, oh my gosh, it's over already? I gotta put this thing back on again. That's it, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, take care of yourselves, all right?